Marcello, a dwarf, is the heir to a wealthy family. His father was a respected former general, possessing vast wealth, an army, and a household of guards. However, Marcello's presence made his father feel insecure, as if he were ashamed that his son was different from most people. Despite this treatment, Marcello never held a grudge against his father. Since childhood, Marcello grew up without the love of his long-deceased mother. He grew up in a large house surrounded by people around him. Despite his small stature, Marcello was well liked by everyone, including the servants. He also befriended Caesar, a paramedic who frequently dealt with soldiers injured in war. From Caesar, Marcello often purchased war booty, such as weapons, for his personal collection. Despite his limitations, Marcello remained a mature man yearning for true love. He met Maria, a woman who worked as a crowd service provider. You know what that means. Marcello hoped to one day marry her and build a life together. One night, when Marcello was having trouble sleeping, he decided to visit his housemaid's place. Without a word, Marcello immediately asked the maid for something delicious. It turned out this wasn't the first time he'd done this. He'd done it often with the maids at his house. One day, Marcello's father was visited by his men, who gave him some news and asked him to go out of town for a few days. Marcello also had a passion for cars, and Caesar helped him repair a car there. After that, Marcello went to visit Maria at her workplace. There, he met the manager and asked her to wait a moment. A few moments later, Marcello was asked to meet Maria in her room. There, Maria was ready to make out, but Marcello refused. That wasn't his purpose there, but rather to win Maria's heart. However, unbeknownst to him, Caesar was hiding in Maria's closet. It was then revealed that Caesar was actually jealous of Marcello. All this time, he had only pretended to be a friend, but was secretly plotting to get rid of him. Some time later, Marcello was introduced to a woman with similar disabilities, by the manager of Maria's workplace. A few days later, Marcello received sad news. His father had died in an accident. Because of this, Marcello became the sole heir to his father's entire estate. The next day, Maria arrived and offered her condolences on Marcello's father's passing. Afterward, Marcello invited Maria to see his large house. Marcello said she would live there if she married him. However, Maria had Caesar, and she didn't dare let him go. Caesar also seemed unwilling to lose her. Marcello tried to talk things out with Caesar, but his efforts were in vain. Caesar even hatched a sinister plan to get rid of Marcello and seize his property. When Maria heard this, she opposed it, knowing Marcello was a good man. One night, Marcello returned to Maria. He warned her that she was in grave danger and should leave town. Marcello intended to take Maria away, but Maria chose to stay behind to prevent Caesar from pursuing her. In fact, he was willing to be injured and hit by Marcello's vehicle so that Caesar wouldn't suspect anything and stop pursuing him. Marcello finally reported it to the soldiers left behind by his father. Caesar was arrested at Marcello's house after being caught red-handed looting valuables and pretending to be blind. He was later sentenced to death for his actions. A year later, Marcello returned to find Maria still weak from the accident. However, this time, he promised to be faithful to her. The two resolved to live happily together no matter what. Finally, the film ended.